So, first of all, I would like to thank all the devotees assembled here for discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam. My special gratitude to His Grace Subal Prabhu, who has ordered me and requested me to come here and participate in reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you for this opportunity, Prabhu. Indeed, earlier also he had told me, but somehow or other I couldn't serve, so I was feeling very sad. But now, since we have the opportunity, we would like to serve. And currently, while we are speaking, we are hearing all kind of sounds. So we just pray at the lotus feet of the Lord to keep all the devotees safe, so that they can absorb in hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. So I will start with Mangalacharan prayer quickly, and then we can go on the verse and read the verse and try to understand, the purport of Srila Prabhupada. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातान् सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमा। ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतुषे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। आराध्यो भगवान् व्रजेश तनयास् तद्धाम वृन्दावनम्। रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधू वर्गेण या कल्पिता। श्रीमद्भागवतं प्रमाणमम्लं प्रेम पुमर्तो महान्। श्रीचैतन्य महाप्रभुर्मतमिदं तत्रार्धरानापरः। Hare Krishna. So we would like to welcome all the devotees on this most auspicious day and time to attend, read, hear and understand Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Canto entitled The Status Quo. Chapter 9, chapter entitled Brahma's Prayers for Creative Energy. Text 11. So I will chant the verse, and then I would request also devotees to repeat after, meaning I complete, we'll chant the full verse, and then devotees can repeat the full verse. Prabhuji, Subal Prabhu, do we go, meaning word by word, and devotees repeat after us, or I can just chant the full verse and devotees can repeat? How do we do?
Prabhuji, yeah, we can try to chant the sloka. Generally, after that one, we don't go word to word, but
Yeah,
we will read
okay.
translation. One of the devotee will read translation and purport, and you can go ahead
Yes.
with the explanation.
No problem, Prabhuji.
Can
I
you
was just,
recite the shloka?
uh, Hare
But
Krishna.
whichever
Prabhu,
way is fine, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, can you go little up also, because I'm little comfortable in Hindi as well. Yeah,
uh,
so I'll just chant the verse one time, and then I request devotees to recite the verse, and then translation and purport devotees can read.
yeah, okay, that is fine, Prabhu. Yes, sure.
त्वं भक्तियोगपरिभाविता हृत्सरोज आस्ते श्रुते क्षितपथो ननुनाथ पुंसां यद्यधियात् उरुगाय विभावयन्ति तत्तद्वपु प्रणयसे सदनुग्रहाय त्वं भक्तियोगपरिभाविता हृत्सरोज आस्ते श्रुते पथुनानु नाथ पुंसं यद्यधियात उरुगाय विभावयन्ति तत्तद्वपु प्रणयसे सदनुग्रहाय. Yes, devotees can please recite.
त्वं त्वं भक्तियोग परिभावितहृत्सरोज आरस्य क्षुते
Asya.
असे क्षुतेक्षितपदो ननुनाद पुंसां यद्याद्वियत उरुगाय विभवयन्ति तद्वपुः प्रणयसे सदानुग्रहाय.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Tvam bhakti yoga paribhavita hrutsaroj asse srutekshita pathananunata pumsam yad yad dhyata urugaya vibhavayanti tat tat vapuha pranayase sat anugrahaya.
Hari
Hare.
bol. Anyone else?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Tvam bhakti yoga paribhavita hritsaroja ase shrute kshita patho nanunatha pumsam yadyadhyata urugaya vibhavayanti tat tat sorry tat tat tad tad dvapaha pranayase sadanugrahaya.
Hari bol. Anyone else? Okay, thank you. So, तुम भक्ति योग परिभावित हृत्सरोज आसे श्रुते क्षित पथो ननुनाथ पुंसाम यद्यधियात उरुगाय विभावयन्ति तत्तद्वपु प्रणयसे सदनुग्रहाय. I request any devotees to please read translation and purport. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Arvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Oh my Lord, your devotees can see. Your devotees can see you through the ears by the process of bona fide hearing, and thus their hearts become cleansed, and you take your seat there. You are so merciful in your devotee in to your devotees that you manifest yourself in the particular eternal form of transcendence in which they always think of you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Purport. The statement here that the Lord manifests himself before the devotee in the form in which the devotee likes to worship him indicates that the Lord becomes subordinate to the desire of the devotee. So much so that he manifests his particular form as the devotee demands. This demand of the devotee is satisfied by the Lord because he is pliable in terms of the transcendental loving service of the devotee. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.11. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam statya bhasdya aham. We should note, however, that Lord is never the order supplier of the devotee. He is here in this verse, it is particularly mentioned Tvam Bhakti Yoga Paribhavta. This indicates the efficiency achieved through execution of matured devotional service or prema, love of the Godhead. This state of prema is achieved by the gradual process of development from faith to love. On faith, one associates with bona fide devotees, but by such association, one can become engaged in bona fide devotional service, which includes proper initiation and the execution of the primary devotional duties prescribed in the revealed scriptures. This is clearly indicated herein by the word Sukrishta. This Sukrishta path is to hear from bona fide devotees who are conversant with Vedic wisdom, free from mundane sentiment. By this bona fide hearing process, the neophyte devotees become cleansed of all material rubbish, and thus he becomes attached to one of the many transcendental forms of the Lord as described in the Vedas. This attachment of the devotee to a particular form of the Lord is due to natural inclination. Each and every living entity is originally attached to a particular type of transcendental service because he is eternally the servitor of the Lord. Lord Chaitanya says that the living entity is eternally a servitor of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, Sri Krishna. Therefore, every living entity has a particular type of service relationship with the Lord eternally. This particular attachment is invoked by practice of regulative devotional service to the Lord, and thus the devotee becomes attached to the eternal form of the Lord, exactly like one who is already eternally attached. This attachment for a particular form of the Lord is called Swipti Siddhi. The Lord sits on the lotus heart of the devotee in the eternal form from the pure devotee desires. This attachment of the particular Lord is called Supreme Siddhi. The Lord sits on the lotus heart of the devotee in the eternal form the pure devotee desires, and thus the Lord does not part from the devotee as confirmed in the previous verse. The Lord, however, thus does not disclose himself to a casual or unauthentic worshipper to be exploited. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.25. Natham Prakash Sarvase Yoga Maya Smadriya. Rather, by Yoga Maya, the Lord remains concealed to the non-devotees or casual devotees who are serving their sense gratification. The Lord is never visible to the non-devotees or casual devotees who are serving their sense gratification. The Lord is never visible to the pseudo devotees who worship the demigods in charge of the universal affairs. The conclusion is that the Lord cannot become the order supplier of a pseudo devotee, but he is always prepared to respond to the desire of a pure, unconditional devotee who is free from all tinges of material infection. Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Purport ki jai. Rao Prabhu, can you please go little up on the verse? Yeah. So, oh my Lord, your devotees can see you through the ears by the process of bona fide hearing, and thus their hearts become cleansed, and you take your seat there. You are so merciful to your devotees that you manifest yourself in the particular eternal form of the transcendence in which they always think of you. Hare Krishna. So once again, my humble obeisances to all the devotees. So this is very, very important verse. Indeed, one of the central focus of this chapter, and we are very fortunate actually, to come together and hear Srimad Bhagavatam. And I have been told by Subal Prabhu that this particular group of devotees have already studied Srimad Bhagavad Gita in detail. and also you have completed, the two cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, and on the third canto, ninth chapter, so which is a significant and great achievement, because I have seen that many times many devotees, they start reading Srimad Bhagavatam and they get stuck on canto 2 or in canto 3. It is very difficult to cross over canto 2 and 3, and then obviously once you cross, then it is easy to sail and go to 4, 5, 6, and other cantos. But it's not that easy. It actually has lot of philosophical aspect about creative creation and creative material energy and all. So congratulations, that we have actually crossed through this, and we all try to basically understand and do bhakti in Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So basically this purport Srila Prabhupada has written, and we have come to know about Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So yadi Prabhupada na hoito tabe ki hoito. So although, like for example, even in my case, although coming from a Brahmin family, meaning we knew few things, but not to that extent that we are knowing. So thanks to ISKCON and Srila Prabhupada, that because of Srila Prabhupada's uh, kindness, the world has actually come to know about reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. So our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada. So it's very striking that this verse is actually spoken by Brahmaji, by whom this Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya starts. So Lord Krishna actually gave knowledge to four personalities, as you are aware. So he gave knowledge to Brahma, to Lord Shiva, to four Kumaras, and Lakshmi Devi. So four sampradayas have emerged, bona fide sampradaya, and we are in the we are following in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. The starting is Lord Brahma. So Brahma, we also need to understand when we read the prayers of Lord Brahma. Obviously, we have gone through the previous chapters where how Brahmaji's birth take place, at the lotus, coming out from the navel of Lord Vishnu. So but we need to also understand that Brahma is a very, very powerful personality, and here what Brahmaji is doing, he's seeking blessings to Lord to perform his service. So the background of the previous chapter, you are aware that how Brahmaji has come up, come out from the navel of Lord Vishnu on the lotus, and then he goes to find out what is his source, and he couldn't find out. Then he again comes up, meditates for thousands of years, and then he hears obviously Lord Krishna, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kaviye Muhyanti Yat Surya. So he speaks to him in his heart, and then Brahmaji seeks blessings of the Lord to start his service. So this is very, very important lesson, which we can learn from the episode of Lord Brahma, or maybe Brahmaji is teaching us that to start before anything, we need to seek blessings of the Lord to perform our services. And Brahma is not an ordinary personality. Who's Brahma? So like, if we okay, let me ask the devotees assembled here. Brahma is basically the second person. You can say that the first is Lord Krishna, who basically starts creation. And as we understand from Srimad Bhagavatam, the 10 subjects which are described in Srimad Bhagavatam, atra sarga visargascha sthanam poshnam utaya manvantare Shanukata Mukti Nirodha Ashraya. So these 10 subjects are there. In that, the primary creation, Sarg, is done by Lord Shri Krishna, and the Visarg is done by Brahmaji. So Brahmaji is the secondary creator, the second person immediately after Lord. So he is basically one who actually creates everything. And creation is not easy. It is very, very difficult. So Brahmaji is the one who has actually started this creation, on the order of the Lord. So Brahma is very, very powerful personality. And do we know few names of Brahmaji? Just to keep it as interactive, can you please tell me what are the different names by which Brahmaji is known?
Swambhu, something like Swambhu.
Very nice, Swambhu, because
Chit-
he's born, automatically from the navel of the Lord. He has no, mother and father in one way. So he is known as Swambhu. Any other name?
Cheturmukh.
Prajapati is there.
Yeah, Prajapati, because he is the progenitor. So he's basically brings all the species out. So he's the first person from whom everything actually emanates after Lord Sri Krishna. So he's also known as Prajapati. He's known as Swayambhu. Any other name?
Hiranyagarbha.
Hiranyagarbha, very nice. He's also known as Hiranyagarbha because he has come out of the stomach of Lord.
Lord Vishnu.
Yes, Lord Vishnu. What else? Any other name?
Chaturmukh.
Chaturmukh Brahma. Yes, because he has four. Indeed, Brahma has many mukh. So Chaturmukh is also one of the name. Sure. Any other name you can guess?
Something related to Vedas was there, his name.
Yeah. So he is also known as Veda Garbha, you know,
Veda, yeah.
or so from where the Vedas has also emanated. Also, he is known as Adi Kavi because
Adi
he is the
Kavi.
one who is poet basically. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye Muhyanti Yat Surya. So Brahma. He is also known as Dhrit Hari. One of the name of Brahma is Dhrit Hari. So Dhrit means to hold. Hari means Lord, who actually holds Hari on his heart, like opposite of like Dhritarashtra. So Dhritarashtra is one who is actually holding on the Rashtra. He is very attached to the Rashtra. So one who is very much attached to Hari is also known as Dhritahari. So he has various different, amazing names actually, and very powerful personality. So Lord Krishna has given uh, this task of creation to Lord Brahma, and we all know that creation is actually not very easy. It's very difficult. Like for example, in today's age and time, people are very much attracted by startups. So there are many startup and many people, they actually start startups, unicorn and all those things, and most of the startups actually fail. They don't succeed. Only very few succeed. So it is not that easy to start. So sometimes everybody wants to become an entrepreneur. They want to become. So but it's not that easy. So Lord Brahma, he has a service which is very very difficult service, and he is the first startup personality, we can say, in today's language, that he actually started. And it was not that his startup was successful immediately. Obviously that Lord Shiva also started creation, and then Brahmaji said, please stop. And then he first actually asked his four sons, four Kumaras, and they said no, no, no. So he also had difficulties actually. But later when he actually started, it was zero error startup. We can see how function, the universe is functioning so beautifully, started by Lord Brahma. So Brahma teaches us a very very important lesson, that when he was about to do this service, here is he's basically speaking. So if we go to the chapter where Brahma says that, oh my Lord, today after many years of penance, I have come to know about you. Indeed, in another verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahma says that after understanding so many things in my life, I have understood only one thing, that I cannot understood you. I cannot understand you, Krishna. When Brahma Vimohan Leela happens, he gets bewildered by Krishna's pastime. So he says that, meaning he cannot understand. And Brahmaji is a personality who is basically full of knowledge. His body is made up of only chit, is knowledge only. So everything, all the knowledge of the world is there within Brahma. And that Brahma says that after performing so many years of penance, now I have come to know little about you. That I don't know you everything about you, but I know little bit about you. And then he says that you are the only object of knowledge, and everybody should know. And he said that the form which I am seeing now, is eternally freed from material contamination, and it actually shows mercy to the devotees. And then he says that the devotees, in whatever way they want to, see Lord actually reciprocates accordingly. In this verse, basically that's what Brahma says. He actually explains about very beautifully the form of the Lord, and also the description is given in the previous chapter, that how beautiful the form of the Lord is there. And then basically he also speaks about non-devotees, and Prabhupada is also speaking about casual and the non-devotees here, that they engage their senses in a very troublesome and extensive work, and they suffer they can't sleep at night and all those things. But the your devotees, Brahma says in this particular verse number 11, that, oh my Lord, your devotees can see you through the ears by the process of bona fide hearing, and thus their hearts become cleansed, and you take your seat there. You are so merciful to your devotees that you manifest yourself in the particular eternal form of transcendent in which they always think of you. So it's a very beautiful verse where the reciprocation of Lord with the devotees is given. And one very important aspect, which is described in this shloka is that devotees see the Lord through ears. So we are going to discuss about that. But the first thing what I was trying to say is that Lord Brahma, even before starting creation, he is basically seeking blessings of the Lord. And he says that, please bless me so that I can do my service properly. So Brahmaji is teaching a very, very important lesson. And this is also very important as a sadhakas, as a practicing devotee, that whatever we do, we actually seek blessings of the Lord and the devotees, obviously our seniors, our parents, our guru. And an example we can see it in Mahabharat war. So like when the war was about to begin, and everything was like fixed, even after doing so many efforts of having no war. Even Lord Krishna went as Santidut also, and he knew that Duryodhan is not going to accept. So the war was fixed, everything was there, and then the two armies came opposite to each other, in front of each other, and the concerts were also blown. Everything happened actually. And just before that, uh, something very strikingly happened. So Yudhishthir Maharaj, who was basically the chief of the Pandavas army, he keeps his bow and arrow, his spear bhala, aside, and he just gets down on the chariot, and then he just walks, to the army of Kauravas. And then everybody's surprised at what's going to happen. What is going on actually? Why Yudhishthir is going there, empty handed. And Duryodhan, he starts laughing at Yudhishthir, and he says, see, before even the war begins, he is afraid, and he's given up. But he just goes straight to Bhishma Pitama. He bows down to Bhishma Pitama, and he asks for, for the blessings. And he said that, oh my Pitama, I cannot fight without your blessing, so please, I seek your blessing, please give me your blessing. And with this genuine gesture of Yudhishthir Maharaj, Bhishma Pitama naturally, he raised his hand and he said, Vijay Bhava, he said that, may you be victorious. So he just went and asked for the blessings of Bhishma Pitama. Then he goes and asks the blessings of Dronacharya also. He bows down to Dronacharya and he says, oh my Guru, you are my Guru. Whatever we have learnt in our life is only because of your mercy. And without your blessing, we cannot do anything. So we request you to please bless us. And then Dronacharya becomes so happy. And he says that, Yudhishthir, actually I was thinking that if you would not have sought my blessing, I would have cursed you to fail in this war. But since you have come to ask for the blessings, I profusely bless you. So Yudhishthir Maharaj, he actually went there to seek blessings of all the elders, seniors. And this was not like a strategic decision, which Yudhishthir took, or thought it about, that I'm going to do something like this. This was a very natural, uh, upbringing from his heart, which actually came out. It was deep rooted culture, which Yudhishthir had to approach seniors and seek his blessings. So it is very, very important for us to seek blessing. And this act of seeking blessing gives us strength, gives us power, gives us knowledge, gives us humility, it gives us faith. So why we should seek blessing? It makes us humble. We understand that there is a superior authority above us, from whom we can actually learn. It actually also makes us mindful that we are not doing anything mechanically, but with our heart, with our soul. So it's very, very important. So rather than sometimes directly jumping on the task, it is better that we are mindful, we seek blessings of the seniors, that actually gives us the shield of protection and to be victorious in our life, and to become happy. And it's so very important, and you see in our parampara that everybody has actually sought blessings of the Lord and the devotees, before doing anything. Even our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, when he went to America, even before going to America, he actually went to Shantipur, and he was crying, shedding his tears, at Shantipur, at Advaita Acharya's place, praying him to empower him. He prayed to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, and all the personalities, all our acharyas, to give him strength so that he can actually go and perform his service given by his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And not only that, when he reached America also, before coming out of the, the Jaladuta ship, he basically actually wrote a prayer, Markine Bhagavad Dharma, when he saw the, bleak skyline of America. He understood the difficulty of his mission, and then he penned down his plea of his request to Lord Sri Krishna, and he wrote this beautiful poem, Markine Bhagavad Dharma. बड़ बड़ो कृपा कोइले कृष्णा अध मेरा प्रति की जानी ले दे करो ए बेगति. And this was not a prayer, which Prabhupada says, which was meant to be published. He just wrote his request of his heart to Lord Sri Krishna. But then, obviously, eventually it got published, and we know that what beautifully he has written. And Prabhupada, although, for a moment he became morose, but then he remembered Srimad Bhagavatam, and remembering Srimad Bhagavatam, he actually wrote the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam in this Markine Bhagavad Dharma, which is so very important. And I would request all the devotees, if you would have definitely read or heard this prayer, please, it is very, very nice. But if not, then you must please go read this prayer, understand the mood of Srila Prabhupada and how he has brought Srimad Bhagavatam into it actually. And he writes, these verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is also, the subject matter of our today's discussion, when we say that we should see the Lord by ears. That's very, very important. And this is the teaching even Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has actually taught to all his disciples. Once Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was giving a class in Vrindavan, and in between the class, many of his sannyas disciples and other disciples, they came and sat down in the class. And then he said that, where were you? Srimad Bhagavatam class is going on, and where were you? And then they say that, Srila Prabhupada, we had gone to have darshan of the local temples, in Vrindavan. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said that to live the transcendental class on Srimad Bhagavatam given by your spiritual master, and to go and have darshan of the deities, it is like doing time pass. And he says that, I repeat again, please open your ears so that you can see clearly. मैं फिर से दोहराता हूं, आप कान खोल दीजिए ताकि स्पष्ट रूप से देख सके. So we need to understand that we cannot see the Lord by our eyes. We will actually fail, as even Brahmaji failed when he saw Lord Krishna in Brahma Vimohan Leela, when he stole the calves and the galas. He couldn't actually understand the activities of Lord Sri Krishna. When Krishna killed Aghasur, he couldn't believe. So by our eyes, by our buddhi, we will not be able to understand. We can understand Lord only through ears, and that's so very important. So Srila Prabhupada, in this poem, in this Markine Bhagavad Dharma, he wrote, Shrinvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana हृदय चौहि अभद्राणि विधुनोतीश हत्सताम नष्ट प्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी तदा रजस्तमो भावा काम लोभादयश्च ये चेते तेरनावितं सितं सित्वे प्रसीदति एवं प्रसन्न मनसो भगवत भक्ति योगद भगवत तत्व विज्ञान मुक्त संगस्य जायते भिद्यते हृदय ग्रंथि छिद्यन्ते सर्व संशय क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि मुक्त एवात्मनीश्वरे. So these are the verses which are there in Sanskrit, taken from Srimad Bhagavatam and put in this prayer which is written in Bengali. बड़ो कृपा कोयले कृष्ण अधमेर प्रति. And he says that धीर होया सुने जदि काने बार बार. He says that, oh my Lord, where have you brought me, and why have you brought me to this terrible place, where nobody knows about God. They are not God conscious. They are actually rajas tamo gune tera sabai achan. Everybody is actually engaged in this passion and ignorance. They don't have any tinge of goodness. Where have you brought me here? And he said that how will I be able to make them understand the science of Krishna consciousness. But Srila Prabhupada had faith in Srimad Bhagavatam, on the words of Srimad Bhagavatam. And then he says that, oh my Lord, maybe you would have some business here. Otherwise, why will you bring me to this terrible place? And since you have brought me here, please make the power of my speaking suitable for their understanding, so that when I speak the words from Srimad Bhagavatam, it pierces their heart, and the message of Srimad Bhagavatam enters in their heart, and they become devotees. And then he says that I am helpless. I am just like a puppet in your hand. Aniya jadi prabhu amar nachate, nachao nachao, nachao nachao, prabhu nachao se mate, kastera puttali jada, nachao se mate. So he says that if you have brought me here to dance, then let me dance, let me dance, let me dance, oh my Lord. I am just like a puppet in your hand, and by your will, by your mercy, by your blessing, I will be able to perform my service. Bhakti nahi ved nahi naam khube bado, bhakti vedant naam ei sarthak koro. He says that you have given me this name Bhakti Vedant. I don't have bhakti, I don't have any gyan, I don't have any strength, but by your will, by your blessing, I will be able to perform my service. So in the same mood, which Brahmaji is also praying to Lord Sri Krishna, and he's saying that I am seeking your blessing, O Lord, to perform my service of creation. Please bless me so that I can create. In the same mood, Srila Prabhupada is praying, and he's saying that please bless me so that I can perform my service of, propagating Krishna consciousness. I don't have any power. So this is what a mood of a devotee is there, a sadhaka, that whatever he does, and however big task he may do by the blessings of the Lord, he always seeks blessings and put Lord in the front, so that we actually can do something, and then that will not make us proud. That will always make us humble and a proper, and the humility is the hallmark of a devotee. It is very, very important. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's focus, central teaching is Trinadapi Sunichena Tarori va Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtane Sadhari. If you want to chant constantly, then we need to pass through these gates of humility and tolerance. Then only we will be able to do. So before we begin our day, so how does it practically translate into our life? As a sadhaka, as a practicing devotee, before even we begin our day, when we get up, from our bed, we should actually remember Krishna. We should touch Bhumi Devi, saying that please, I am stepping on you, please give me. I know that there are many devotees who have this habit of looking at their hand, and traditionally I have seen my forefathers, and they would say karagre vaste Lakshmi, kar madhya Saraswati, kar mule tu Govindam, like that. They are remembering Krishna as soon as they get up. Okay, they give respect. That they basically start the day by offering flat obeisances to Lord. And then we begin. Even before we sleep, we remember our guru. Okay, and then we basically go to sleep. So between whatever we do the whole day, we should be conscious, we should be very, very mindful that whatever we perform, we actually perform with this aspect, and that will give us a lot of blessings. So like you see, the life of Pandavas and life of Kauravas, what was basically the difference between the two? Pandavas were doing everything to attract blessings, and Kauravas were doing everything to attract curses. So Param Puja Radhanath Swami Maharaj, actually in one of the lecture, he just summarizes the life of Pandavas and Kauravas in this one sentence, that Pandavas were doing everything which attracted blessings, and Kauravas were doing everything to attract curses. So similarly, Ravan, for example, the whole life of Ravan was to attract curses only. He has actually attracted so many curses upon him that nobody could save him. One time I was trying to give a class based on Chaitanya Charan Prabhu's class, where he said that there were 10 warnings ignored by 10 heads of Ravan. So we spoke on the subject matter that 10 people gave 10 warnings to Ravan. So his 10 heads get 10 warning, and all the warnings were ignored by Ravana, and he was doomed. He was killed. So we should do something which attracts blessings and not curses. It is very very easy to actually do something which will displease people, which will displease the society, which will displease devotees. But it is very very difficult to do something which will actually please devotees, and they will give blessings to us. And also sometimes we don't have to even go and ask for the blessings. Sometimes some devotees have this habit, Prabhuji, please bless me, but it should actually come from our heart, not that only lip service we are doing and asking for the blessing. No. So how you will get blessings? When you do something naturally, the devotee's heart will outpour. So when you serve a devotees, naturally the blessing will come out. You don't have to even ask. You just please devotee, you just serve the devotees. If we please devotee, if we serve devotee, like Srimati Radharani, when she was a small child, she served Durvasa Muni. Automatically Durvasa Muni gave blessings. It was not that she had to ask for it actually. So whenever a devotee does something good to another devotee, serves the devotee, pleases the devotee, executes the task in the mission of the devotees, and particularly for us in the mission of Srila Prabhupada, it will definitely please our seniors, it will please the devotees, and then we will be able to get their blessing. So with this blessing only, we can go ahead. And here in this particular verse, what Brahmaji is saying, he's saying that your devotees are so wonderful, that they basically see you everywhere. Param Pujya Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj used to come to Abu Dhabi quite often. He used to say that a devotee should try to learn the science of seeing everything in Krishna's hand and Krishna's hand in everything. Like we have heard this term कि सब कुछ भगवान के हाथ में है, या भगवान की इच्छा से सब कुछ होता है. So we should try to see Krishna's hand in everything and everything in Krishna's hand. Then we will be peaceful. We will be, so one time one devotee actually approached Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, knowing him that he was, a great lover of Srimad Bhagavatam, and he said that, Maharaj, please bless me that I can read Srimad Bhagavatam. And Maharaj said, rascal, to read Srimad Bhagavatam, blessings is not required, endeavor is required. He said, just open the book and read. I try to understand, just open Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is so merciful that it will reciprocate with you. Once you try to take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam, as we know, is not different than Lord Sri Krishna. Idam Bhagavatam Namam Purana Brahma Samhitam. When Lord incarnates in the form of a book, Granth, he is Granthraj Srimad Bhagavatam, and very very reciprocative. When you read, you will understand, and that's what everything we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. So Lord Brahma is saying here that, oh Krishna, your devotees can see you through ears. Now please for a moment try to understand that for you and for me, probably this term, seeing through ear, may not sound weird because we are accustomed to it, being devotees in ISKCON, and we have heard this kind of meaning sentences many many times. But think about a person who's very new. He has never read Srimad Bhagavatam, never been in touch with Bhakti, Krishna consciousness, or you try to tell somebody who's very new that you see through your ear. He'll say, Pagal ho gaya kya? What are you talking? You can see through eyes, not through ear, because that's what have been told to us, and we have learned the whole, the educational system which has brought us up. They actually teach us something, and we are trying to see something which is totally different. So like in the world we say, seeing is believing. कि जो दिखता है वो होता है. That's what basically, seeing is believing. Or we have a terminology, our dear Shridama Prabhu was saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. तो एक खाली pictorial में it's very easy to see things and understand. or to see is to know. When you see, you know. So we have terms like this, but in this world there are opposite terms also exactly with the same focus. Like for example, we say seeing is believing. There is another verse, particularly in Marathi, we say जे दिसते ते नसते म्हणूनच जग फसते. So seeing is deceiving. Seeing is deceiving. It's not, whatever you see is not is the fact. Not all that glitters is gold. Huh? Or sometimes it is said that don't judge the book by its cover, or reality is hidden beyond illusion. Or sometimes the problem with us is that sometimes we only try to see what we want to see. तो हमको सब कुछ दिखाई नहीं देता है. जब कुछ the problem is why this kind of terminology is there, and why sometimes seeing is believing and sometimes seeing is deceiving. Actually, most of the time seeing is deceiving. Our shastras teach us, because our senses are very, very limited. So when this human form of life comes in this world, okay, we have inherent some qualities, and we have some inherent issues, which come, like for example, when you open a laptop or when you open a computer, automatically with the start of the laptop there are many softwares which actually automatically start. The window starts, and many other things starts actually. So when this human form of body comes, which is also like a machine, we need to understand the mechanism of this machine. So we have four defect, which is inherent defect with us. Everybody by default, nobody is an exception to this. So one is that our senses are imperfect. We have imperfect senses. Then because of the imperfect senses, what happens? We get illusioned. And because of the illusion, we make mistakes. And to cover up that mistake, we indulge into cheating propensity. So technically in Sanskrit, it is known as Brahma, Pramad, Karna, Patava, and Vipralipsa. So what happens? Because our senses are imperfect, no, we are not supposed able to hear a sound. Like now we are hearing the sound because it is coming on our head. Otherwise, if it is happening somewhere else, far, we will not be able to hear. Or sometimes, when somebody is going in the night, he sees a rope and may think it is a snake. So our senses are limited. Because of that limitation, we get illusioned, that we can see, oh, this rope may be a snake, and we make mistake. And to cover up the mistake, we indulge into cheating propensity. So this is how basically our senses are there. But the most important sense, which Lord has given us, is the ear. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, this is a constant theme. And if we want to really understand Krishna, if we want to really understand the truth, if we want to really understand and get the proper knowledge, it is through ear. So there are three ways of understanding Lord. I'm just coming on little basic thing, but just very quickly. So we have three ways of acquiring knowledge. One is pratyaksh. ओके, अक्ष मीन्स आंख, प्रति मीन्स अपोजिट. सो जो आंखों के सामने होता है उसको प्रत्यक्ष प्रमाण कहते हैं. सो वन वे ऑफ गेटिंग द नॉलेज इज प्रत्यक्ष प्रमाण. सेकंड इज अनुमान. अनुमान इज स्पेक्युलेशन. बोथ आर नॉट परफेक्ट. प्रत्यक्ष में बहुत लफड़ा है. अनुमान is actually speculation only. So the only proper way of acquiring knowledge is shabd praman. Shabd praman. So pratyaksh, anuman, and shabd. So shabd praman, as we say, like for example, we give this example, you all know, so I'm not going to elaborate it more. But if somebody wants to know who's the father, you cannot guess him by pratyaksh. You cannot make anuman. You have to just go and ask the mother, who's my father. Mother can guide you. So these scriptures, the Vedas, Srimad Bhagavatam is our mother, who is actually indicating to us that who's your father. Krishna, go there basically. So shabd is very, very important, and shabd is actually heard through ear. So we have obviously 5 senses, 10 senses also we can say. But out of the 5, when we sleep in the night, we are like almost dead. So when a person sleeps in the night, and therefore we should actually pray and sleep, as I was telling at the start of the class. And then when we get up, we should thank Krishna that, oh, so we are almost dead, and all our senses are actually dead except one, and that is ear. So therefore we keep alarm, so alarm लगा के हम लोग सोते हैं. हम लोग डंडा नहीं लगाते कि कोई हमको धाड़ करके मारेगा सुबह उठ के डंडा से, नहीं. We put alarm, and then with the alarm we actually wake up, because the only sense, ear, is alive, and we can understand the senses. The all other senses we get information, but with the ears we can get transformation. So ear is the doorway to transformation. Senses are doorway to information. All other senses, like we have eyes, we like to see, we like to smell, we like to speak, touch, all those things. But all the senses may be doorway to information. You get information by touching, seeing, smelling, all those things. But the ear is the doorway to transformation, and therefore Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave so much importance on hearing. Indeed, he mentioned that I like Srila Prabhupada because he likes to hear. So this hearing is so very important. So when we read Srimad Bhagavatam or when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, it is so very important that we should understand, and we can understand the Lord only by hearing. There is no other way. There is no other way. There is no other way. Obviously, when we hear sufficiently, then we will be able to also chant. But in our 9 process of bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, the first is Shravanam. So very important. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said that out of all the process of devotional service, these two are very important, Shravan and Kirtan. First is Shravan. So Shravan is very important. And sometimes we may feel that, अरे क्या बात कर रहे हो, श्रवण से कुछ ऐसा होता है क्या? And I can give you example, because you are all very sincere devotee, and as I have been told that you have studied Bhagavad Gita, so thoroughly, and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam also. So like for example, if I tell you that please for a moment close your eyes, okay, just close your eyes and just try to see Vrindavan in front of your eyes, and try to see the way Narottam Das Thakur describes it. Try to see how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described us. Like Narottam Das Thakur says, Vrindavana Ramya Sthan Divya Chintamani Dham Ratana Mandira Mano Hara Abrit Kalindi Nir Rajahams Keli Kore ताहे शोभे कनक कमला तार मध्ये हिम पीठ अष्टदले वेष्टित अष्टदले प्रधान नायिका तार मध्ये रत्नासन बसिया छे दुई जन श्याम संगे सुंदरी राधिका रूप लावण्य राशि आमिया पड़ी छे खासी हास्य परिहास्य संभाषणे नरोत्तम दास को नित्य लीला सुखमय सदा स्फुरुक मोरा माने वृंदावन रम्य sthana. So when we try to hear about Sri Vrindavan Dham, that how Vrindavan Dham is Ramya Sthan, a Divya Chintamani Dham, and there is a Yamuna, Kalindi Nire, and in that Rajhams, the swans are actually playing, and there is a, the lotus, the golden lotuses are there, and how in that golden lotus, there are whorls on 8 petals, 8 sakhis are sitting, and in between there is a Ratna Simhasan where Lord Sri Krishna, Radha, Shyam Sundar, Lord Sri Krishna along with Srimati Radharani, he is sitting, and both are talking to each other, they are making sambhashan, they are joking with each other, and how they are enjoying. And this Leela is actually imagined, it is seen by Narottam Das Thakur, and he's praying that let in my heart, all those things get manifested. So when we hear about such description, by closing our heart, by closing our eyes and opening our heart, we are able to actually see, this Leela happening in our life also through acharyas, not whimsically, but through the mercy of the acharyas. So ear can actually give us darshan of the Lord. That's so very very important. Huh? and therefore this hearing is so very important, and words are so very important in our life. Everything actually, if you see that, whatever happens, sometimes we don't use our words properly, and it may create disaster. Or sometimes when a person uses the words properly, it may actually elevates to a different level. Sometimes you would have heard devotees saying that your words have touched my heart. uh, so like when great devotees like Srila Prabhupada and all, the great sannyasis, the great devotees, the pure devotees, they speak, it is so soothing. Sometimes the same subject matter which we would have heard earlier so many times, may not basically affect our heart. It may just sometimes agitate the mind. But when a pure devotee speaks, our heart is get filled with emotions. We get touched, so we say that, oh, your words have touched my heart, or your words have pierced my heart. Sometimes our dear ones, sometimes they speak to us so harsh, and it rips apart our ear, our hearts. And we say that, my God, it is so very difficult. So words can heal, huh? And it can wound us also, both way. So that's so very important, that the words are so very important. So whatever we hear, it actually affects our whole existence. It affects our consciousness, it affects our subconscious mind. So therefore hearing is so very very important. So what we should do: nashta prayesu abhadresu nityam bhagavad sevaya. Every day we should hear about Lord Shri Krishna. And therefore it is not said that, masam bhagavad sevaya or mantham bhagavad sevaya or saptaham bhagavad sevaya. No, every day nityam bhagavad sevaya. We are supposed to every day hear about Lord Shri Krishna. So this is a program given by Srila Prabhupada in all the ISKCON centers, that we do Mangal Arati in the morning. We remember our Guru, because of whose mercy we have got the knowledge and the bhakti. And then we chant our rounds, because that's the Yuga Dharma. Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Eva Kevalam Kalau Nasteva Nasteva Nastev Gatiranyatha. So we chant. That is the most important activity given by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna, Kali Kale Naam Rupe Krishna Avatar. So Naam we should take. And after that, Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam is so very, very important. Obviously, every time for us is not possible to hear, but we should try to, take out some time to at least read Srimad Bhagavatam or hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Indeed, in our Damodar days, we have Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya. Every day there is a facility to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. In all the temples of ISKCON, there is a Bhagavatam class is given. What may not, whatever happens, actually there is a Srimad Bhagavatam class every single day. When we observe ourselves in hearing about Lord Sri Krishna, when we see Lord Krishna through our ears, uh, our life becomes successful. And that is so is very very important. So hearing is very very important. And not only that, we just hear and forget. Sometimes in joking way, I say that we are at ISKCON, and I am from Rajasthan. So con for us is actually Kan. So कान को हम लोग मारवाड़ी में कौन कहते हैं, कौन, कि थारा कौन पा खौचुला में, मतलब आपका कान, आई विल पुल योर ईयर और वट एवर इट इज एक्चुअली. सो ISKCON डजंट मीन दैट इस कौन से सुनो और इस कौन से निकाल दो. ISKCON मीन्स दोनों कौन से सुनो. ISKCON दोनों इस कान से सुनो एंड टेक इट इनसाइड इन आवर हार्ट. तो जो श्रवण किया है उस पे मनन भी करो. दैट इज द सेकंड स्टेप. Just hearing is not enough. After hearing, just try to contemplate, just try to meditate, just try to think, मैंने क्या सुना आज, क्या पॉइंट मुझे अच्छा लगा, what did I understand, at least 1 2 3 point we should take away, कि इतना अच्छा. And then मनन करो, contemplate. And even in Srimad Bhagavatam, I think 11th canto, this verse come, which says that Srimad Bhagavatam pramanamamlam yad vaishnavanam priyam तत् शृण्वतम सुपठन विचारण परो. सो भागवत को पहले पढ़ना है, सुनना है, फिर विचारण परो. वी नीड टू मेडिटेट, वी नीड टू थिंक कि क्या सुना. वी आर नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग मैकेनिकली. Nothing is mechanical. As we spoke about seeking blessing, there is a feeling involved in that. There is a mindfulness. We have to think, we have to meditate that. And once we meditate, we will be able to see. Just by hearing, sometimes we may not be able to understand. Then we need to meditate. Or manan ke baad bhi there is smaran. So Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam. There is a Smaranam. Kya suna, kya nahi. We need to bus remember about Lord Sri Krishna. And it is said in our scriptures that whatever we do in our life, every gamut of activity translate into only two principles. And what are these two principles? Can somebody tell me that all our activity, whatever we do in our life, it only translate into two things? And what are these two things? Please, somebody can unmute and tell me what are these two things which is given in our as a conclusion of the speaker the scriptures.
One is can be the hearing.
Okay. Somebody else also would like to try. Okay, let me give the answer. It says, always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna.
Yeah.
So whatever we do in our life, it actually translates into only two activity. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Satatam, I don't know, I don't remember the Sanskrit verse right now, but Satatam Smartam Vishnu. So basically both the things is same. One is said in the positive way, one is in the negative way. Always remember Krishna, and that's what we are supposed to do. We need to remember Krishna always, so that we can remember Krishna at the time of death. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram. Krishna says that whatever one remembers at the time of death, he actually takes to that. And then he says that antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. But if somebody is able to remember me at the time of death, he will come to me. And that's what is the whole goal of our life, that we need to remember Krishna. How will we remember Krishna? When we will contemplate upon Krishna, we will manan about Krishna, and we will hear about Krishna. So everything starts by hearing. So here Lord Brahma is saying that, my Lord, you are so merciful that your devotee who hear about you, you go and sit on the lotus of their heart. Such a wonderful, meaning word Brahmaji uses here. And he says that you actually go and sit at the lotus of the heart of the devotees. So very important. And then when devotee is hearing, when he's doing contemplation, when he's doing manan, he's smarring, and then he's also doing dhyan of the Lord, he can actually feel experience. We can feel the experience of the Lord in our heart. There is anubhav. That anubhav will lead us to bhav. That bhav will lead us to prem. That's what Srila Prabhupada is also writing here in the purport, that ado shraddha tata sadhu santata bhajan kriya anarth nivritti. Like that, actually one goes and progressing from the stage of nishta, bhav, ruchi, prem. We will ultimately gain the prem. That is what basically the goal of life. Krishna prem. That is what we are seeking in our life. So how will we get the prem? First is by hearing. So when we hear about the Lord, then what happens? The Lord reciprocates. And let me also open the verse again, where Lord says that, oh my Lord, Brahmaji says, your devotees can see you through the ears by the process of bona fide hearing. Okay, now there is a word which Prabhupada is using here, is not only hearing, bona fide hearing. So I'm sure you all know what is the meaning of bona fide hearing. Hearing from a bona fide source, hearing from a bona fide devotee. The example is given that the milk is very nice, it is nourishing, but if it is touched by a serpent, it becomes like a poison. So there are sometimes professional Bhagavad reciters, they are speaking Bhagavatam, but that can just agitate our mind, that cannot satisfy our soul. Huh? So rather than hearing from the professional reciters, those who charge money and those who are not actually following the Bhagavad Dharma in their own life, okay, meaning those, at least those who are not in bhakti and they are here and there and they are able to hear, it's very nice, we should appreciate, we are not criticizing, but we should hear from a bona fide source. That's very important. Brahmaji is bona fide sampradaya. Our sampradaya, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya sampradaya, is a bona fide sampradaya coming from Brahmaji, who is actually speaking this verse. So he says that the process of bona fide hearing, and thus their hearts become cleansed. So as we say, Shanvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtana Vidhunoti Suhatsatam Nashta Prayasu Bhadresu Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya. So Krishna He actually enters in our heart and he cleanses our heart. In a joking way, one time one devotee said, he said that Lord Sri Krishna is so merciful that he enters into the heart and he cleanses our heart. So that means what he becomes, he's actually Tribhangi. He's Tribhang Lalit Sarup. But that Tribhangi kind of becomes like a Bhangi, and he cleanses everything from our heart. He removes all the dirt. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took broom in his hand. Tell me which avatar of the Lord. So many avatars have come. You know, Varaha, Vaman, Ram, Parshuram, they all had different weapons in their hand. Which Lord is so merciful that he has taken that weapon, which is broom, which is jhadu? Ah, no incarnation of the Lord has taken jhadu in his hand. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took the jhadu in his hand. He went to Jagannath Puri. He cleansed Jagannath temple, Gundicha Marjanam. We celebrate this festival with so much of pomp and enthusiasm. Mundicha Marjan. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took the broom in his hand and he's cleaning our heart. Cheto darpan marjanam bhav mahadavagni nirvapanam. So he's cleansing our heart. There is so much of dirt in our heart, and when there is a dirt, when there is how will the Lord come and sit? And that was the whole reason that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cleaned Jagmohan, the asana of Lord Jagannath, so that when there is a clean place, in Gundicha Mandir, Lord will come and sit there. So if we want Lord to come and sit in the lotus of our heart, we need to make our heart clean. And that cleansing exercise is chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So hearing and chanting should go together, hand in hand. And Srila Prabhupada said that one who has heard nicely will also chant nicely. He will also speak nicely. So we need to understand that this is our process, Shravanam, Kirtanam, and then Vishnu Smaranam. These two principles which we spoke. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So he says that, oh my Lord, your devotees can see you through the ears by the process of bona fide hearing, and thus their hearts become cleansed, and you take your seat there. You go and sit on the lotus of the heart of the devotees. That's not easy. To attract Krishna's mercy is not easy. Krishna can give bhakti easily, but mukti easily, but Krishna will not give bhakti. It's very, very difficult. Krishna, to attract the mercy of Krishna is not that easy. It's very, very difficult. Prabhupada actually said Krishna consciousness is simple but not easy. Krishna consciousness is simple but not easy. To attract the mercy of the Lord, to attract the attention of the Lord is not that easy. करोड़ों करोड़ों जन्म लग जाते हैं लोगों को, and still they are not able to actually attract the heart of Krishna. But what we need to do, we need to just follow the process given by the acharyas. And further Brahma says, you are so merciful to your devotees that you manifest yourself in the particular eternal form of transcendent in which they always think of you. He says that not only that, you actually become what they want. So if devotee is trying to see Lord in Narsimhadev form, you manifest as Narsimhadev. Somebody is attracted to Lord Ram. If you want to see him as Lord Ram, you become, you come in front of him as Lord Ram. Whatever desire of the devotee, you fulfill that desire because the devotees have actually captured you in your heart. Yashoda Maiya, she wants to see Krishna as Lala, little naughty, Krishna. And then Krishna actually appears in front of Yashoda Maiya like that. The same Krishna who appears as Varaha. And it is said that in one Rom coop of Varadev, the whole ocean can get accommodated. So he's so big. When he fought with Hiranyaksh, we know how powerful Lord Narsimhadev, no, Lord Varadev is actually. But the same Vara, when he appears in front of Yashoda Maiya as Lord Krishna, Yashoda Maiya just takes one bucket of water, pours on the head of Krishna, and Krishna ka snan ho jata hai. Can you imagine such a wonderful personality? Krishnera tek khela sarvatam nar lila nar roop jaha raswaroop. Kaviraj Goswami says that Krishna tek khela. He has taken so many incarnations, so many different incarnations according to the desire of the devotees. And I think we are just coming to the conclusion of our time. So I will say that Lord reciprocates according to the desire of the devotees. And I would just like any of you to please volunteer and tell me examples where the Lord became or he took the form according to the desire of a devotee. Let us discuss for 10 minutes and then we can conclude. Let us, there are so many examples in the history, in our parampara, that Lord has taken the form where a devotee wanted him to take the form like that. So can we please have a
But sir, your query is in the heart.
what query is in the heart? So no. Here Brahmaji says, so we are just discussing that the Lord actually reciprocates with the devotee, and he sometimes takes the form which a devotee wants to see. There are examples. Okay, should I start and give one example? Then maybe you can understand that what I'm saying, and
So
or you want.
Sushil Prabhu, Prabhu is asking us to give examples when devotees wish to see the Lord in a specific form, the Lord reciprocates and appears. He is asking us to give examples of such appearances.
आप
Correct?
बताइए प्रभु, पहला एक बताएंगे तो हमको बता दें।
ठीक है, तो जैसे मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि एक बार जैसे किसी ने तुलसीदास जी को कहा कि आप उधर जगन्नाथपुरी में जाइए और जगन्नाथ का दर्शन कीजिए। वो जब जगन्नाथ का दर्शन करने के लिए गए, व्हेन ही वेंट देयर एंड व्हेन ही सॉ द लॉर्ड्स फॉर्म इन जगन्नाथ फॉर्म, ही एक्चुअली समहाउ और अदर, मतलब he couldn't basically connect, or see, he wanted to see him in the form of Ramchandra, with the bow and arrow in his hand. And then he actually went out, and then Lord called him again and showed him the form of Lord Ramchandra ji, where he could see Jagannath as Lord Ram, with bow and arrow in his hand, and he could see Balbhadra as Lakshman. Okay, so Lord actually showed that form to him. Or like to Ramananda Rai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu presented the form of Radha Krishna, and to Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya he presented as uh, Shadbhuj form, and like different form where they wanted to see Lord. Even to Murari Gupta, so Murari Gupta was basically a devotee of Lord Ram. Indeed, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once tells Murari to chant Krishna. So when he is trying to chant Krishna, so instead of Krishna, the name of Lord Ram comes out. And then he says that I cannot follow the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to chant the name of Krishna. I will actually kill myself. I will commit suicide. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and catches his hand, and he says that glorious is the master like Lord Ram who has devotee like Murari, and glorious is the devotee who has the master like Lord Ram. So like Lord reciprocates in different way and shows the different form of Lord. So like that I'm asking that you can say. So any other example? Sure.
Prabhuji, the Lord appeared from the womb of Devaki in the form of forearm form, having
Yes.
the Shankha Chakra Gada Padma in their hands. Then Devaki Devi requested the Lord that you should come in the form of human like ordinary child form, because she had fear from Kansa that he may kill. So Lord immediately took the form of ordinary child.
Perfect. Very nice, Puji. Very nice example.
Then Arjuna actually requested the Lord, to have the Vishwarup form. Then,
Yes.
and then again after showing the Vishwarup, then Lord, the Arjuna frightened, and he requested the Lord, you should take the two-arm form, which is very pleasant to the heart of Arjuna. Then Lord again took the form of two-arm form, the Shyamasundar form.
Very nice, Puji. Very
Hare
nice.
Krishna.
Anybody else?
Prabhu, there are so many avatars that the Lord has taken to kill the demons and all that, but most of these avatars have come because the devotees have prayed for the Lord to appear.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
Nar Narayan is also there. Then we know about Anasuya Mataji praying for Brahma Vishnu to appear. So
Very nice. Very nice. So meaning other devotees also can think and tell that if you know that there are many other.
Prabhuji, yeah, Prabhuji, when Jambavant was looking for
Yes,
Ram,
right.
like he was waiting, Krishna came, but actually, after all the fight and all those things, when he saw Rama, then he realized that one is my God.
Very nice, wonderful, wonderful example. Even for Jagannath ji, there was one devotee who wanted to see him in the form of Lord Ganesh, and Jagannath ji actually presented himself as Lord Ganesh, and there is a Gajvesh, what we have. So there are so many examples. So Lord actually reciprocates accordingly. So in case anybody else would like to also give example, please go ahead. Otherwise, we can conclude and with this verse. Any other example coming to your mind? Also, there is another very beautiful pastimes where Lord Sri Krishna is entering into the arena to kill comes, and there are so many devotees sitting around, and they are reciprocating, uh, accordingly, according to their bhav, they are seeing Krishna in different ways, so like Chanur and Mushtir and Kamsa saw Krishna as death, but gopis saw Krishna as a lovable friend. Krishna's Sakha was seeing Krishna in a different form. Mother Yashoda, Nand Baba, and others elderly Gopa and gopis were seeing him as a very beautiful komal, like flower like personality. So like different devotees actually, the same Krishna, he was entering into the arena, but because of the different emotions and the different bhav of the devotees, Krishna was actually reciprocating with them and presenting him, meaning manifesting himself in that bhav. So Lord Krishna says also, ye yathamam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyaham. As one approaches Krishna, Krishna reciprocates. So Krishna, indeed, we had done one drama long back, Krishna and Balram entering Mathura, where there was one dialogue which I was speaking that अगर आप मुझसे प्रेम करना चाहोगे तो हम आपसे प्रेम भी करेंगे, और आप अगर हमसे युद्ध करना चाहोगे तो युद्ध भी करेंगे. So Lord reciprocates according to the to the desire of the devotees. That's what Lord Brahma is also saying here, that you are so merciful to your devotees that you manifest yourself in that particular eternal form of transcendent in which they are always think of you. So like Murari Gupta or Hanumanji knows Krishna, okay, but he is always thinking of the Lord in the form of Lord Ram only, and he's not going to trade anything, so Lord always comes in front of him as Lord Ramchandra ji. Prahlad Maharaj, Narsimha Dev, so like that, some devotees have that particular mood and particular relationship with the Lord in that form only, and Lord reciprocates with them. Like for example, let me just also give one last example and conclude. When Ras Leela was happening, Krishna suddenly disappears, and then gopis, you know Gopi Geetam. In gopis are searching for Krishna, and Krishna actually what he does, he takes the form of Narayan. He puts two more arms, he becomes four-handed form of Lord Vishnu, Narayan, and then gopis are going and they see Lord Narayan. So gopis bow down to Narayan. They offer their respectful obeisances to Narayan, but they are not attracted by the form of the Narayan. And then the gopis they ask, "Did you see Krishna?" And Krishna couldn't actually hold himself. His two arms disappears actually. But gopis were not interested. They know that yes, Narayan is the supreme personality of Godhead, but their love was only with Krishna, and that's what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught for all of us. Actually, Sadhaka, this verse which I chanted before starting the class, it actually is a classic verse, to be adopted in our life, where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Aradhyo Bhagavan Braje Satanayas Tadham Vrindavan. For us, the worshipable supreme Lord, because we are sadhakas, we are, the Vedic bhaktas coming in this parampara, we should try to focus on the form of the Lord, which is Shyama Sundar form of Shri Vrindavan Dham. Aradhyo Bhagavan Braje Satane Tadham Vrindavanam Ramya Kachit Upasana. And our Upasana, our worship should be like in the form and the mood of the gopis. Gopi Bhartur Pad Kamale or Das Das Dasanu Das. So Tadham Vrindavanam Ramya Kachid Upasana Vrajvadhu Vargenaya Kalpita. Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamalam. And what is the source and the basis and the proof of this, that we should do like this? Srimad Bhagavatam, and we are in Srimad Bhagavatam class, So Srimad Bhagavatam is Pramanam Amlam, and what is the goal of our life? Prema Pumarto Mahan. Ultimately, we have to get the prema of Lord, and as we discussed from Ado Shraddha Sadhu Sang, from hearing, chanting, meditating, contemplating, and then Anubhav, and then goes to Bhav and to the Prem. So Prema Pumarto Mahan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Madmidam. And who is giving this verdict? Our worshipable Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has incarnated in this age of Kali Yuga as Shadma Avatar, as Yuga Avatar, as Avatar of the holy name. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sango Pangasta Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Praya Ejanti Hi Sumedasa. He came and he said that just by chanting the holy name, we can achieve the prema of Lord. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matvidam Tatradara Nahapara. There is no other thing, which we can actually understand, think, or so. So we need to follow this process as given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we are coming in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, started by Lord Sri Krishna, the knowledge given to Brahma. Brahmaji is speaking in this verse, and in Brahma's Parampara we come where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Prabhupada is there, and taking this Parampara ahead, we are trying to learn this knowledge in bona fide Parampara with bona fide, devotees, hearing the bona fide, Srimad Bhagavatam and the process, and we will surely become, successful in our life in achieving Krishna Prem. With these words, I would stop here because our time is up. We are always limited by time. I was actually thinking of taking few verses as ordered by Subal Prabhu, but I'm sorry I couldn't. So I think we are on just one verse only, and even couldn't go too much deep into the purport of Srila Prabhupada also. But I hope whatever limitations or shortcomings are there, you will please ignore it and bless me by your blessings. So I seek the blessings of all the assembled devotees here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much.
Prabhu, your
Hare
lecture
Krishna,
was
Prabhu.
mesmerizing.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. As always, meaning I'm not surprised by the way you spoke. Your classes are always like this one. Thank you so much. Anybody has any question? ऐसा मौका बार बार नहीं आता है, पकड़ लो प्रभु को.
Any comment also, please feel free to add. I might have forgotten or may not have covered. So please feel free for comment or question, whatever
One
comes to your mind.
takeaway what I have taken is all other senses are doorway to information, but ears are doorway to transformation. That was a new thing which I heard for the first time.
Thank you, Sushil Prabhu. Anybody has any comment or question?
Prabhu, please keep coming regularly and please enlighten us. It doesn't matter आप एक verses लो या दो verses लो, as far as you are helping us develop taste in Srimad Bhagavatam, that is more important. So on behalf of all devotees, Prabhu, I'll thank you again and request you to keep coming. So before we end the class, let us chant Vaishnava Pranam Mantra and blessings for everybody. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantapati Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Thank you very much again, Prabhu. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Pranam.
Thank you.
Pranam, Hare Krishna.